Hey guys, this week for Weapons Wednesday, we're going to test out some of our most popular throwing weapons. But before we begin, if you could just like this video and subscribe to our channel, that would be awesome. So in last week's video, we looked at a bunch of everyday carry knives that were under $20. And I asked you to go into the community tab and vote for which one you liked best. And you guys chose the Midnight Assassin Karambit. Excellent choice. This is actually my favorite too. This is the one I would have chosen as well. There's some things I love about it. I absolutely love the G10 handle. I love how comfortable it is. It just feels so comfortable in my hand. I think this would be an excellent everyday carry knife, and for under $20, you just can't beat it. So today, we're going to be looking at different throwing weapons. So I had Amanda go back to the warehouse and she grabbed a bunch of our newer throwing weapons for me. So without further ado, why don't you hand me the first package?
There you go.
Thank you, Amanda. All right, so the first item we have is the Royal Flush throwing cards. Okay, cool. So we've looked at some throwing cards before in previous videos, and I would say it was probably one of my first videos where I showed off a bunch of different throwing stars and things. We really tested out the throwing cards really well by throwing them across the room at the Wing Chun dummy. And I'm just going to be honest, they're a little more difficult to stick than Shuriken or other throwing weapons. It's just something about the shape of them that makes them difficult to stick as easily. But you can get good at them with practice. But let's just take a look at them really quick. The thing I like the most about them is I'm a huge comic book nerd and I love Gambit from X-Men, and I just, that's what I think of when I see these things. And these are really cool cards. I like the fact that you can't see the metal around the card at all. They actually have this completely solid white background to them. So like on the back, it's just solid white, and I like that. On some of the throwing cards, you see kind of a steel edge around them, which is cool, but these ones I like better just because they look closer to a standard playing card. And the design looks really crisp and clean. Like it actually looks like a legitimate playing card, just maybe a little bit smaller than a playing card. These are actually 3 3/8 inches by 2 inches, and they're not overly sharp, but the points are sharp enough that they can actually stick in. So if we look at it, it looks like the bevel is on the front part of the card, and the back part of the card is actually more flat. And it's a Royal Flush set that's entirely made out of the hearts, and it comes with this really nice nylon case to hold all the cards. And I don't know if there's much else to tell you about them. They are made of a stainless steel, and each card weighs approximately 1.4 ounces. So that's about all I have to tell you about them, but you guys really don't care about that. You want to see me actually throw them. So I don't have a lot of space in here. So what I decided I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a watermelon and hook it to the top of the Wing Chun dummy and just throw it from a very small distance just to make sure that they actually stick. So I'm just going to grab this guy, and the way I like to throw them is just like a Shuriken. So I just kind of do an overhand Shuriken style throw, and as you can see, it actually, like, you can't even see the card anymore. You can just see the slit. So it's actually fully inside this watermelon. Maybe I can open it up and try to grab it. But it's actually in there somewhere. So that actually penetrated the watermelon so far that it's actually in there. So we're not going to be able to grab that. But I have a feeling we're going to completely break this watermelon by the end of the video. So we'll find that card back. That'll be okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put this away, and let's move on to the next item. All right, Amanda, what you got next for me?
There you go.
Thank you. Okay. And for those of you who joined my live feed, I really appreciate it. I had a lot of fun. That was my first live feed I've ever done. It actually ended up being like an hour and a half, which is crazy. But we went through the process of how we actually take a look at and test new weapons as they come into our company, because we have all sorts of different factories and manufacturers who send us stuff, and we don't want to sell junk, so we actually tested everything out, and I showed you guys how we actually go through the process of testing things to see how we decide what type of weapons we're going to actually carry here. All right, so our next item is the Arctic Knuckle Hatchet. So this is cool. We actually showed off something kind of similar about maybe 3 or 4 months ago, but this is neat. I like this. So I wouldn't technically say that this is a throwing weapon. This is more of maybe a tactical type weapon. Pretty cool, actually. I mean, I like how it's got the jimping on top, so I get a really good control of this. You can see the thumb grooves up there. Really good control. I don't know if you could hold it both ways. Yeah, you could kind of hold it this way too, but it feels like because the jimping's up here, you'd probably want to hold it this way. It's got this ring in the pommel, which is nice and comfortable. Sometimes these two holes will be too far apart or too close together, but this actually fits me just perfectly. I actually think this would fit people with pretty much any size hand just perfectly. Feels nice and comfortable. It is made out of a 3CR13 stainless steel, but it's been anodized into this blue color, and that just looks awesome. I absolutely love that blue color. It looks really nice. And the blade is actually super sharp on it. We can see that it's got this beveled false edge on top. I don't know if you can see that very well on camera, but there's actually a beveling in the false edge on top. So you could sharpen that if you wanted to. I think I probably would leave it alone, but it would be a cool place to sharpen. And then it's got this handle, this wood handle. You can tell it's full tang, but the wood handle goes over the top of it, which just makes it really comfortable. Like it fits in my hand just perfectly. I couldn't tell you what type of wood that is, but based on the grain, I'm gonna guess that that's a pack of wood, would be my guess. But it looks like it's just been lacquered up just nicely, and it's got a really nice stain to it, so I actually really like it, and it's comfortable too. It's actually super comfortable. Let's see, the weight is approximately 4.8 ounces, so that's a pretty light weight, but actually really comfortable weight for using. And the overall length is about 6.5 inches. The blade length is approximately 3.5 inches, and this is, I guess the reason it was manufactured is to give you an alternative to carrying a full-size axe when you go out into the wild. Like this would actually allow you to do chopping of lighter materials and then splitting and carving. It'd be good for that. And I don't think there's anything else to tell you about it, but I'm actually curious. This wasn't made specifically for throwing, but I'm actually curious if you could throw it, because I think you could. It's got a blade to where I think you could throw it pretty nicely. So generally when you throw a throwing axe, you kind of do an overhand throw like that. I don't know how well that's going to work with this because this is just not weighted exactly the same, but let's see. I think if I kind of hold it like this, maybe with two hands, this is going to be a complete experiment, so I don't know how well this is going to throw, but I say we just try it, see how it goes. Yeah, I mean, that's not too bad. I guess what I would be concerned with is I'd be wanting to practice to see how many times it spins, and then what distance I needed between me and whatever object I was throwing at to kind of determine how to throw it best, but it seemed to do okay like that. So yeah, I actually really like this thing. I think it's super comfortable in the hand, could work really nicely for an everyday carry weapon, but also apparently you can throw it. So I like it. All right, let's go ahead and put that away and look at something else. All right, Amanda, what you got next for me?
There you go.
Thank you. The double-pointed throwing spikes. Oh, cool. I really am surprised we've never shown these off before. So these are really cool because they're probably the closest thing we have to what a bow shuriken is. It's just a long spike that has a pretty sharp point to it. And what I like about these also is when you throw and you miss or it hits the ground, you're gonna ding up the points on your throwing spikes really quickly. And these kind of spikes are so easy to just grind back to a nice point. You can just take them in a grinder, just kind of grind them slowly into a nice point again. So that's one of the really nice aspects about these spikes. So each spike is approximately 6 inches long, and then the balance on them, yeah, they're really well balanced. I like that. Let's see, they weigh approximately 2 ounces each. And the set includes 3 spikes. Oh, this is cool. So it actually comes in this nice little wrist sheath. So let's just put this on and see how this works. So I'd probably put it on like that. I've actually never put this one on before, so this is kind of cool. Okay, so I put it on like that, strap that around. Oh yeah, it's nice and tight too. I like that. Oh yeah, that's awesome. I actually like that. So that could be concealed really nicely, just nice on my wrist like that. If I needed it, yank it out, throw. So I've done a number of videos on throwing spikes before where I kind of showed how I like to throw them. Some people throw throwing spikes like that, kind of like a knife or like a star. What I've found to be the best way to throw a throwing spike is if you kind of put it in your palm like this. I don't know if you can see that on camera, but kind of like this, to where the tips of my finger are on this part of the spike, and then the point of the spike is right in the palm of my hand, and then I hold with my thumb just like that. So you kind of hold it like this, and then you do an overhand throw to where when you release, your hand is straight and the spike just flies into its target. So that's what I found to be the easiest way to throw a spike. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else for me to tell you about these, but let's actually try throwing one at the watermelon and see how it goes. This isn't a very good distance to be throwing spikes, but I'm just going to go back as far as I can and see if I can hit it. Okay, so as you can see, they do actually stick pretty well. It just takes a little bit of time to learn how to throw them properly. So I'm going to go ahead and put that away, and let's move on to the next item. All right, Amanda, what you got next for me?
There you go.
Thank you, appreciate it. I like your shirt today.
Thank you.
I love Lincoln Park.
Me too.
All right, the Razor Claw Throwing Stars. Ooh, that sounds interesting. All right, let's see what these guys look like. Ooh, wow. Those are cool. All right, let's just take a closer look at these. Look at that. That is awesome. So I guess first off, the first thing I noticed is that it has this like talon/claw design to it. I absolutely love that. I think it's so cool. These actually stick really nicely when they have that little curvature to the blade like that. The blade itself is kind of sharp, not overly sharp, but that's pretty common when they anodize things like this. You kind of see that the blade itself isn't quite as sharp, but you can sharpen that up. It's just the problem with sharpening it is all of a sudden you'll see the steel shine through around the red, which actually still looks pretty cool. And then the point is super sharp. So these things are definitely going to stick nicely. They are made from a 3CR13 stainless steel. And they weigh approximately 1.5 ounces, so that's a pretty good weight for a star. That actually gives you enough weight to get some momentum behind it. And they are approximately 3 3/4 inches in diameter. They're 5-point stars, which is good. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So we've got a red one, and then it comes as a 3-pack with also a titanium finish one. That's nice. That's actually beautiful. It's got that rainbow design to it. So one thing I noticed is it's got this kanji in the center of it, and it looks like, I'm actually going to come around the desk and show the camera, but it looks like it's got some sort of dragon/kanji design. I don't know what that says. So if any of you can tell me what that says, that would really be helpful for me. I'm not even sure if that's actually a kanji. It looks like a dragon of some sort, but pretty unique little symbol. So that is a titanium finish, and then we've got this really beautiful blue one. I absolutely love that. The anodization is just beautiful on these things. Looks really nice, and I guarantee these things are going to throw really well too. So let's actually try throwing one of these at the watermelon. I mean, throwing stars are so easy to throw. You just kind of throw them overhand like that. Just stick in. So we got one. Grab the other one. 2. Grab the third one. 3. So see how easy throwing stars are. I mean, anyone can learn how to do it in just a few throws, so I absolutely love that about them. I'm going to take that out and put this away, and I can't think of anything else to really tell you about it other than it comes with this nylon case, which actually looks like a pretty good high quality nylon case, so I like that a lot. But yeah, let's go ahead and put that away and grab me the next item, Amanda.
Here we go.
Awesome, thank you so much. Ooh, a bigger one. Okay, cool. All right, I actually have this Coffin Crusader knife from a few weeks back. Pretty cool design on this little knife. I actually like it a lot. But all right, so let's open this box up. See what we've got. Ooh, the Dark Skull Crusher Axe. Very nice. I like this a lot. Okay. Take a look at it. I actually like the sheath a lot. It's pretty nice. It's got a belt loop so it can hook from your belt. Oh wow, That's nice. So when I first look at this, it's obvious to me that this is more of a tactical hatchet or a tactical axe than it is an actual throwing axe. But you could definitely throw this. Based on its shape, you could definitely throw this. You couldn't do a standard two-handed throw. You'd have to do a one-handed throw. You'd probably want to rotate your wrist a little bit more just based on the shape of this axe. But it would definitely take some practice just to learn how to throw it properly. But some of the things I really like about it is it's obviously full tang. It goes right through that handle, looks really nice. That handle is made out of an ABS and it's super comfortable. That's like a really nice textured, hard ABS handle. I actually find that super comfortable. Yeah, no matter which way I hold it. If I hold it down here, if I hold it up here, I actually have kind of an area for my thumb, which would be nice for, you know, tactical use. I like that a lot. There's this texture on the blade, which is really cool too. I don't know if you can see the blade very well, but it's got that dark skull design to it, which I actually like a lot. Pretty unique looking. And then that texture in there. It's also got this kind of spike on the butt of the axe, which that's really nice for a couple of purposes. It's nice for if you're throwing and it sticks wrong, if it doesn't hit the head of the axe, it can actually stick into that as well. Plus you can use it for, you know, chopping obviously, or splitting wood. It's actually really good for splitting wood. And let's see, what else? We've got kind of a false edge here, which is kind of interesting. So you could sharpen that up if you wanted to have an additional weapon. I'd probably leave that alone though. We've got this lanyard hole on the end of the axe to where we could add a wrist strap if we wanted to, which would actually be really nice if you're using this for tactical purposes. I actually like that a lot. The blade itself is really sharp. I actually like that. And the blade length is approximately 3.5 inches. The head of the axe is approximately 6 1/8 inch, and then the overall length of the axe is approximately 10 inches, and it weighs approximately 13 ounces. So this is actually a really nice weight for this. I wouldn't want to change the weight at all on this. Actually, there's not a lot I'd change on this at all. I actually really like the design of it. And the handle is super comfortable. I like that a lot. But I'm actually very interested if I can throw this. I think so. It's got a really nice design to it. So I'm just going to go ahead and step back and just take a quick throw at it. Jeez. So yeah, that actually just demolished the watermelon. I would love to practice with that on a tree or something outside because I have a feeling you could throw that so nicely. But if you have any questions on any of the products I showed off today, definitely leave them in the comments below. Also, there's links in the description for you to go and check out the products on KarateMart.com to get more information about them. But make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel, and go to the community tab and vote for which weapon you liked best. But until next week, we'll see you Weapons Wednesday.